Welcome back to another episode of Kickin It With KeKe, Life, Love, and Mindset. I am your host, Kiki Chanel. Around here, we talk about life, love, mindset, growth, healing, and everything in between. So today, we're diving into life, love, and mindset with the lovely guest that I have for you today. And you guys know how I like to do. I like to give my guests the opportunity to tell you who they are. So I don't know what name she's gonna go by today, so I'll let her introduce herself. So hey Queen.
Hey, Queen. Thank you so much, Kiki, for having me on this amazing platform. I want to shout out Joy for putting me on to your greatness. Right now, so my name is Shirley Touzant, but I go by Queen Liberati. But I feel like every chapter of my life, I sort of morph into new things. And so Augustine Francois is where I'm at right now because I found out about my great grandmother a couple of months back. And so I'm trying to encapsulate and capture her as I move forward because I believe there's something there. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much where I'm at with it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming to kick it with me today. It has been a pleasure. And shout out to Coach Joy, one of my favorite people. Thank you for
Joy,
the introduction. We love you, love you, love you. Purple hugs and all the things.
my favorite color. Well, one of my favorite colors, amethyst for February.
Okay. Yes, I love purple and I love green. So those are my two favorite colors. But we're gonna get into the mindset moment where we talk about mindset that shapes how we experience life and love, okay?
Yes.
For you, what mindset shift changed the way you approach life?
There's been so many, you know what I mean? So many different things have occurred in my life, and I'm doing my best today not to be TMI-ish, but I really trying my best to be as transparent as I can. So I feel like right now I'm on day 470, no alcohol, but I'm still lit though. And I feel like that's a big thing for me. So I want to sort of talk about that mindset shift because I feel like I was utilizing something that I would use as celebrating to cope and navigate through things. And it sort of took control over me. And though God took it away from me prior, like in 1996, he took it from me. So I was 20 years without drinking, but then I started drinking again. And I feel like this time the shift is because I put it down. And I'm not saying that I'll never, ever sip again, but if I ever sip again, it will never be to cope nor to navigate. So the mindset shift around that is to not put nothing in the place of what God can do for me, like to not rely on any other outside source to do the things that only God can do for me, if that makes
Mm,
sense. I don't know if that answers
absolutely.
it, but that's where I just want to be transparent. I'm not going to be performative and none of that. This is where I'm really at with it, Kiki.
Listen, that is amazing that you can talk about it and still have joy in it, because that's how you know that you're healing from it. You
Yeah,
can help somebody else go through it because
yeah.
we all have self-medicated one time or another.
Amen.
And the people who have not, thank God
Thank
that
God.
you have not been to the point where you had to do that.
Right, right, right. Exactly. No judgment here. I ain't
No,
judging you if you still sipping and tipping. I
exactly.
took a little break if that's all right with y'all.
Exactly. And sometimes the breaks is good because you learn who you are. You start to see a little bit more clear. Your path becomes more transparent for
Yes.
yourself along as others see you walking a journey that they didn't think that you can walk because
Oh,
they so used to you being stuck or out of your mind, so to speak.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
So what belief did you have to unlearn to grow during that season?
I had to just believe that God is big enough. You know what I
Mm,
mean? And a lot of times I think we limit God based off of what we've been taught about God. And, I come from Pentecostal background. I come from, Protestant and all these different things. So I feel like because of the way that we are taught about who God is, we put caps on him and we put him in this big scary box of I'm I'm too far removed from God to need God, or not even to need God, but to go to God. And I think
mm,
to undo the belief of that I'm never too broken. I'm never too far away from God to be loved by God or to be talked to or to be helped in the midst of it, to never hide. Like, when Adam and Eve, they hid. I feel like if they would have just been transparent right in that moment and not try to cast blame to each other and just face God right dead smack in the center of it all, help would have been given in that moment. So I feel like to undo the belief system that we are too far removed from God to get God's love and grace and mercy still. So I had to do away with all those thoughts.
I love that. I love that. Because I'm right there with you. Like God
Amen.
knew we was gonna make a mistake before we even done it. So don't hide because he already know. Just say, you know what, God, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Take your lick and go on.
Come on. Come on.
Take your lick and go on. And I love that you say about Adam and Eve because I really do believe that God would have had mercy on them had they not tried to play God. They tried to
Yeah.
play him.
Yeah.
Like I already know what you did. Just come to me. I'm your father.
He
Come to
sort of
me.
wanted it. I feel like he sort of wanted that. It was like, okay, I see where your strengths and your weaknesses are. So let me help you here. But I can only do that with transparency and the vulnerability of being transparent. I think a lot of times we lose sight of that because of fear of shame and embarrassment
Mhm.
and the fear of saying I failed. Okay, you failed, and here we are. In the failure, there's still grace here. There's still a rehabilitation here. Not to get so caught up in your failure, because to me, what God had to since we're on this topic, it's sort of like haughty of you to think that,
Mm.
like, I made you, I created you, I know your ins and outs. I want to see if you know them. And if you're vulnerable enough to come to me so that I can build you up. Because I know what you're made of. I made you, I created you. I know your goods and your bads already. I just want to see where you're at with me. Do you really trust me? And we're not to just trust God in the things that are so wonderful and beautiful. Oh, I'm gonna get that house. No, I'm gonna get delivered here.
Yes.
And I'm not all that, and I need your help here because I might sip again. So I'm counting my days because I need you to help me along the way, not because I'm so deep and divine. I'm counting them to ever put it before me because I know I know
Mhm.
me.
Right. And you know me. God, you know me.
let's
So,
not let's not play around here.
okay. I love that. I love that. And thank you for your transparency. It is
Thank you.
refreshing to have people like you on the podcast that will be open and honest and transparent enough to share your story
Thank you.
unapologetically with
Thank you so
someone
much.
who needs to hear that they're not alone. Because we
Thank
all
you.
have been there. So, thank you.
Thank you for having me. Yes.
Absolutely. All right. We're talking about mindset in this one. What mindset kept you grounded through your difficult season?
There's been so many, man. Like, and I don't want to sound like this. I prayed about this the whole time, just from the beginning, the inception of getting in touch with you. I've been praying about it because some of us don't catch breaks. And it's like, I'm like, God, please don't make this like a cry fest. Don't let me cry on here. If I cry, I'm going to cry. I'm not going to keep it from happening. But it's like, there's not a break for all of us all the time. So I feel like the mindset that you have to have, especially when you've been given much.
Mhm.
Much has been, what's the saying? To much has been given, much is required. And I
Mhm.
think because we've been given so much, we take on more than a lot of people do. And so we have to always have the fortitude and the mindset to not look to the side or to the right or to the left, to just stay focused and eagle eye. Because if we take our eyes off of the initial thing that God showed us, if we don't have that why, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like that thing that he showed you. I know you're going to be rich is the thing for you, or you're going to have a husband. That's the thing for you. If you take your mind off of what God showed you, sometimes you can lose focus. Remember
Mhm.
that God said it. You're trying to know how. Get yourself
Mhm.
out of the way. So to remove the how is a mindset. Remove it. That's a mindset. We could make shirts and everything. Okay, cups, banners. Forget about the how. Just
Forget about the
focus on
how.
it. Forget about the how and focus on what God showed you because he didn't lie about it. You just
Mhm.
get your way out the way.
Just get out of God's way. He don't need no help. Don't
Period.
need no help. Don't need no help. Okay. What life experience forced you to grow the most?
I think seeing how I was changing on the alcohol, you know,
Mhm.
because again, it doesn't happen overnight. And so your brain chemistry is changing, all these different things are changing, but you're not acknowledging these changes because it's all happening in the background. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? As you go on with your life and you're living day to day, you think it's just a sip here or there. But the more that I kept sipping, I started seeing the dependency now. It was starting to mess with me physically, because now it wasn't about just sipping, it was about medicating literally, not just self-medicating, not to think about pain and numbing this, numbing that. It was, girl, if you don't get this, you're gonna spiral. If you don't get this, you're gonna have DTs, which are delusional tremors, all these different things that are attached to this whatever you want to call it, substance. So for me, the life situation was waking up to the fact that I'm not this person that I really want to be right now. This is
Mhm.
not the person that I want to be, because when I forget and I'm saying things that I can't remember, I did that? No way. So, not remembering, if I could just put it under an umbrella, not remembering things that I said that were hurtful, harmful, or did I hurt somebody for real? Could I have killed somebody and not remember? Could I have
Right.
done things that I excuse, that I hate,
Mhm.
and not remember? So that was the biggest life situation for me because it altered the whole thing.
Right. Wow.
And even though there's so much, but that right there, because who you are, no matter what is taking place in our lives, there's a beauty in the struggle. There's a beauty in being here after all the pain and the trauma and the hurt. But when you start self medicating, you start deteriorating the beautiful person that the struggle created. Because there are things that make us relatable to people. There are things that make us able to understand another person's plight because of what we've been through. But when we start medicating, we turn surly sometimes, and it's going against the person that you know you are. That aura that God has given you innately starts to fade away. And I could not deal with knowing that I could be hurting people and not
Right.
knowing that.
Mm. Wow, that's amazing revelation. Um, how long would you say you had been on the substance before you got that revelation?
If I could be honest, because God don't stop speaking to me, and I know He don't stop speaking to us, you know, everybody, to whoever believes in Him. And I feel like He would talk to me here or there, and of course I would dull Him out, like, But I would say at the tail end, I think, like when you see something pixelated, so He was talking through the whole time, but it
Hmm.
was all pixelated to me, audio wise, pixelated, or sound was muffled or whatever. But the clear, pristine sound or the clear, pristine visuals came when I, again, did things that I could not remember. So I would say from the tail end, I did all of the changing happened for me February the 10th, which is my uh, birthday month. And I did it on the date my best friend who passed away on her birthday. I started on the 10th of February. I think that's when it just said, enough is enough. You can't remember. Your kids love you more than anything, and you don't want to hurt them. And anything that hurts you and affects you is going to hurt them. So to remove myself out of the way completely, as painful as that is, that was the true moment. I was like, okay,
Like enough is enough.
it's done.
Thank you for being open about that. And I want to throw love in there because you mentioned your kids. How
Mhm.
has love, whether self-love or relationship, shifted your mindset?
Wow. Love is, I think love to me is the reason why I am still. I think that's the reason why I'm not under the ground. And not to make it morbid or anything, but I'm just being candid because I feel like if I didn't have the five Ys and my two uh, other babies that went up to glory, if I didn't have those things, I don't think I'd be here. First of all, the love of God, first and foremost, the love for my children, but then inevitably, it had to become the love for myself because everything used to be, oh, my kids and my mom, and rest in peace to my twins that passed on. And, of course, God's love. But then when I began to really tap in fully into the love for me all the way, like, it's going to be a little selfish around here. Loving me wholeheartedly, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, and having grace with myself in the same manner that I would have grace with other people. I think that's when it started resonating even for real, more for real. Because I love people. I tell people that I'm an empath and I'm always helping other people, and I love so deeply. But a lot of times we're not as ginger or loving or generous to ourselves or forgiving to ourselves as
Mm,
we are to everybody else. So I had to do some real soul searching and digging and looking at myself from the inside out for real. Like, girl, no. Because
mhm,
I know you say you love you, but that right there doesn't look like you love you.
mhm,
So loving me, I think inevitably is why, because I love God, yes, first and foremost, kids, yes. But loving me for real now,
mhm.
there's things that I won't tolerate, not even for myself.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And to overcome anything in life, I think that self-love has to overshadow anything else but the love of God,
Amen.
your love for God,
Yeah.
because the way that we treat ourselves is a catalyst to how we allow other things and people to treat us or make us treat ourselves when it comes to like overindulging in
Mm,
people, places, and things,
come on.
because what we ingest can sometimes be detrimental to the thing
Yeah,
that God has for us.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Is what we begin to spew out. Is what we begin to spew out. The very, very things that we are putting in, we're going to put it out eventually and inevitably. And so to make sure for myself moving along, clarity, clarity, I don't know how many exclamation points I could put behind clarity. When you're clear on some things, life gets real bright. No matter how hard it is, life gets real bright for you because you're putting things in their proper places, people, places, and things, and you're
Mhm.
not settling for the mediocre crumbs. Not even, what I'm saying? Not even the crumbs are the best, but the mediocre crumbs.
Mhm.
You're no longer settling for those things. And so if you don't invite me, I don't care. If you don't call me, I stay away. I'm not searching for answers anymore. I'm not trying to figure it out anymore. I'm content right here in this vessel because I used to couldn't do that.
Right.
So clarity gives you strength and the courage to do that.
Absolutely. And it's so amazing that you talk about clarity, because I did a podcast episode that came out before your episode airs. And the guy, shout out to Jermaine E. He said, clarity is love in practical form.
Ooh,
And I asked him to expound on that. So you guys go back and listen to his episode,
okay,
because it will be out by the time this one airs. But he
okay.
said that, and it gave me chills because I've heard different ways to describe love, or love described in different things. But him saying that clarity is love in practical form was a different level of love should be in action.
Hmm, that's
So
powerful.
yeah,
That's
it
really
is. And
powerful.
he was amazing, and so are you. So we're gonna go into the reality check, because growth sounds good, but truth behind it, it is never comfortable,
No.
right?
Hmm.
So what's an uncomfortable truth people need to hear about personal growth?
Healing is. Can I go into healing or personal growth? I feel like healing is personal growth.
Hmm.
I feel like people need to understand how murky that is. How
Hmm.
healing is a filthy, messy job. It's not something that I feel like, oh, I'm healing, I'm this, and butterflies and all this other stuff. Healing is getting down to the guttural. You got to get real dirty and filthy to clean yourself up sometimes. Sometimes when you want things to look better, you have to do the things that you don't want to do.
Yep.
Facing yourself is one of those things. I love you, my queen. Have a beautiful day. Um, it's facing yourself and being real with you and smelling yourself, being real with you before others get to tell you. You need to get real with you enough so that don't nobody have to tell you. And not that you're better than anyone to be told, because sometimes you may have to be told. But if you're doing the real work and then you're trying to get down to the murk, into the
Mm.
real thing so that you can see the diamond, you got to clean that. You can't just think it's going to be diamonds and just that's that. There's a process for all this stuff that we want. And so I feel like if I were to keep it real, you got to keep it real with self. You got to tell yourself the things that you're afraid to say. Face
Yes.
those fears and those truths about you that you don't want to really deal with. You better go ahead and do that because that's when I feel healing really begins.
It's absolutely true. It absolutely does because, like you said, it's not going to be clean. It's not a clean, but it's a process. You
It's a
have to go
process.
through the process. And self-awareness and accountability are the first two steps of healing, in my opinion. Because I've been there,
Definitely.
done that, had to crawl from darkness. And I'm at a place where if my boundaries are broken, then I cannot be in your life and you cannot be in mine because I have fought so hard to get away from those triggers that can sometimes destroy your life
Yeah,
subconsciously because you think you don't let go of stuff until something
it's
comes
true.
up and then it's like, oh no, we kept that in the back of your mind so that you can realize that yeah, you still have stuff going on.
It's still some things to do. And I think
Yeah.
that's just normal, though. I mean, biblically, I think it says to, I'm paraphrasing, but to put it before you sometimes. Some things have to be they're gone. Yeah, we're working on things, but I think some things are there for the humility's sake, so that we could always walk in humility, not with our heads down, but with a level of understanding for other people. We have to have that. That's the thing that tempers us, because if we forget the go through, if we forget those dark holes that we've been in, we can begin to get haughty and high minded and snobby. I never want to do that. I want to be an open book for some, for not everybody, because everybody
Mhm.
can't handle your truth.
Right.
But for some people, those that I'm led to really show them that it can get dark, but there's also light at the end of that tunnel for real. And we have to remember where we've been in order to help other people go through and get through.
Exactly. And sometimes people will say it don't take all that, but sometimes it does.
Because I ain't been through nothing. I'm sorry. You ain't been through nothing. If it don't take all that for you, God bravo and God bless you.
And there you have it. Okay. Like to each his own. Some of us need God and our stories are messy.
Listen,
And if you have never had a situation that made you uncomfortable or you had to get messy, God bless you.
come
That's
on.
all I'm gonna say.
It's so
I hope
true.
you don't have to go through it, but keep living.
Period.
All right. So what's one hard lesson that shaped who you are today?
Wow. One hard lesson. Um, I just feel for me, I guess being when you're cold, I guess you always want to fit in
Mm-hmm.
and never really having fit in and always trying to like push myself in. I think the lesson that I've learned is to be okay with that and to stop fighting that
Mm-hmm.
because that hurts more. You know, like accept it, like to accept those things that are your protection and stop trying to force yourself into things that God is protecting you from. You're not supposed to. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow, but I downed it, because every one of us is not here for certain things. And
Mm-hmm.
those are lessons that I feel like are on a constant for me. I have to continuously force feed myself and force feed it and sort of, like I said, down it because I am here for my own thing. That I have to understand that. I have to stay in my place and stop trying so hard to be a part of everything that God doesn't want me to be a part of. So I hope that answers it for you. But that's a hard lesson that's been my whole life. Just trying so hard to be a part of things that God is like, nah.
Uh, That was that was a great answer because that was a great revelation. Because I too have found myself trying to fit in with people, places, and things that I know that didn't mean me any good.
Yes.
And so now I don't care. It's to the point where I am walking in my truth of who God created me to be. If it
Brilliant.
offends you in any way, that's on you, not me. Because if I'm
Exactly.
leading with integrity and walking in humility and love, that's really on you.
And I think that's the whole point of the set apartness that we're fighting, or I fought, and maybe you fought too at some point. I feel like God's thing is bigger than what I want. And it's crazy. It's like, God, I didn't know if I was so guttural. I didn't know if I was so medial and trivial. I didn't know how, subpar I really was in my thinking, because it's like having to grow up and see that God is just protecting me or showing me my worth through some things. Because I've never, and not to put any groups down, I'm not putting anything that I couldn't fit in down. That's not what I'm trying to do here. But God has my own thing somewhere, and
Hmm.
he's just trying to perfect and refine, and it takes time for the things that he's trying to do. And I've interrupted him on myriad of trials. So
Hmm.
I'm at the place of contentment and gratitude, and not trying to force anything. I'm just going with the flow.
Absolutely. I totally understand and I agree. Because sometimes, I mean, I tell this all the time. Not all water flows to the ocean. So you
Mm,
may have a pond or a lake or a handmade whatever. It's still flowing. Just sometimes you can't get to your ocean because you get tripped up by that lake.
come on.
So you
Wow.
will find your ocean. Your ocean is the tribe of people that are supposed to flow with you through life, love, mindset, all of the ups and downs. They're hard to find, but God will place them where they need to be in your life.
Amen.
So I've found. Yeah.
Amen. Amen. I believe that.
Yeah. So what is one reality people need to understand about love and relationships?
Love and like male and female, or love.
Any type of love and relationships, however you want to break it down or speak on it.
um in all relationships, I feel like we have to be selfless and self-aware, but as well as holding space for self too. So I feel like we just have to be mindful of everybody. I feel like be mindful of everybody without losing sight of self. Because in order to flow together and grow together, there has to be a level of compromise, but not compromising to the point of losing self. Like, you want to be a part of a friend group, make sure that friend group has your best interest at heart as well, because
Mhm.
you have their best interest. So not trying so hard to be a part of things where there's no growth for you at all. So for me, if I'm going to be in anything, friends, family, relationship, it has to be something that I honestly believe will grow me, and not trying to be, like, oh, well, if it is this, that, and the third. No, time is something that we cannot get back. So I don't have the luxury of time
Mhm.
to play around with my life or time. So anything that I gravitate towards is gravitating towards me. I'm not forcing myself to sit at tables, forcing myself to reopen relationships with people. I am content. So if you're going to be in a relationship, love, family, friends, whatever, make sure that it is beneficial to everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I don't force anything, and I feel like if you're forcing anything, then it's not genuine.
It's
It's not
not
supposed to
genuine.
be there. Have you ever forced your shoe into a size small, and your feet hurt all day because then that's not the right size? So get out of that. Stop
Don't
forcing.
hurt you.
Yes, absolutely.
We don't
Anything
chase, we attract.
Exactly. Because if you chasing it, it's running away from you. I love it. I love it. Okay,
Mm,
so we're moving into the action step segment because mindset without action does not create change, right?
yes,
What is one action someone can take today to shift their mindset?
be honest.
Mm,
It's simple, like be honest. It's not the end of the world. I think again, going back to just confronting yourself, forgiving yourself, taking that chance. Stop second guessing and doubting yourself. Take that chance on you because you've taken it on everything and everybody else.
mhm.
Bet on you today. Today's your day.
Bet on you today. Come on now. I gotta write that down.
Bet on you today. And I really believe that's the difference. And I think that's when we start moving around the world differently too, when we start betting on ourselves. Because when I wasn't looking at myself in a certain way, and I was forcing this and forcing that, chasing this and chasing that, I was self-deprecating.
Hmm.
I was taking the value of self down. I was doing that because what diamond chases after anybody? What
Right.
star is asking for permission to shine? It's just shining. It just sits there and does its job. The sun is not saying, hey, hey, moon, please. The moon knows when to come out. It's the sun's time. You don't see the moon, and when they do come out together, it's the whole shebang. Okay?
Right.
Because listen, so what I'm saying in essence is you don't need permission to bet on you. You don't need no permission to take that chance on yourself. And forgiving yourself, that's the biggest risk and the biggest chance to take, honey.
Yes. Because I feel like if you forgive yourself, you open yourself up to endless possibilities of what God has for you. Like give yourself permission to accept what God has for you.
Hallelujah for him.
For real. And
Hallelujah.
anybody that stays in the way or tries to get in the way of what God has for you, those are not your people.
Period.
No.
Period. Period. And
Yes.
one more thing I'd like to add to that is this, because I feel like the reality is when you are chasing after things, you're not really trying to see what God has. It's like there's this, I don't know if you've seen this meme before, but God has this big teddy bear in the back of his hand, and then you got this raggedy one in your hand, and you love it with all your life. That's the familiarity. That's the not wanting to change. That's but I have whatever. I'm gonna take these crumbs. At least I have a man. At least I have a man. Yeah, he whooping on you, but you got a man. Okay, and he eating your stuff, and he's not taking care of you. Okay, you're settling for what God has for you because you don't believe that you're worthy
I'm better.
enough. That's what I mean. Take that chance. Forgive yourself for all the riffraff. Forgive yourself for all the things that you did do because we done did some stuff. I know I done did some things. And if I'm saying alcohol, just understand with alcohol, people don't want to talk about everything that comes with things, but it
Hmm.
opens up the door to so many other things. So if I've done alcohol, I've done a lot of things.
Hmm.
But I ain't got to go into them for you see what I'm saying.
Understand? Yeah.
But forgive yourself for all those things. You're still worthy. God sent you for a purpose. There's more for you than you can even imagine. So stop robbing you of the life that you so dearly want, but you're in the way of.
Right. Stop doubting God, man. Stop doubting God. You
Yes.
are worthy of greatness. It is inside of you. So
Yes.
stop self-sabotaging because that's what it is. Yeah.
High
Stop.
five through the
Yeah.
thing, okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. What is one habit that helps you stay aligned in life? What is something that you do?
I count. I'm the Give It 100 queen. My book is called Give It 100, My Weight Loss Journey in 100 Words. You can find it on Amazon, shameful plug.
Oh,
Um,
I was going, that was coming up next. So go ahead.
shameful plug. I count everything. I count like because patience is where God deals with me at. So everything is counting for me. I count today's 470. I'm gonna count as much as I can to whatever number I can, but it's to show me that so long as God keeps bringing me here another day, I'm gonna get where I'm going. We don't have to rush the process.
Mhm.
Embrace the process. Enjoy the process. Because there's so much to glean and to learn and peradventure, or perhaps the reason you're not there yet is because you're not embracing. You're not learning anything. You're just complaining and whining. Oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, because you're not getting the raw material that you need to have that and keep that. Not just you want that, but how are you going to keep that? How are you going to maintain that? You don't have that because you don't have what it takes at this time. You'll get what it takes. The process will bring those things out of you. So embrace the process so that you can get to the thing that you want. So I count. Everything is a count with me. I'm
Mm.
counting. I don't care. Okay, well, you said 90 days. Okay, day one. If you got to start over again, day two, it's get it together one day at a time.
One day at a time. I love that. I love that. That, hey, and it's working, you know, because it keeps us, I think it keeps us grounded.
Yes.
Yes. All right. What's one thing someone can start doing today to help build healthier relationships or deeper self-love?
I think, this beautiful queen, she passed away. I met her when I was young. Maybe I would think I'm 21 years old and we're at my old church. And she was a prophetess and she would always come and talk to the women. And she would tell us, she would say, what I want you to do. I don't know if this is okay to say, but, be in your birthday suit or be naked, look at yourself in the mirror and affirm you. you
Mm,
know I know that's probably too much information, or just maybe just a little bit too much for this, but to take time to acknowledge you. Look at
mhm,
yourself in the mirror, every crinkle, every wrinkle, everything that you don't like or whatever. Look at you and see the miracle of you and what God took time to mold, and thank him. And as you do that, thank him, because he made no mistakes. I don't care what it looked like to everyone else. He
mhm.
knows you in and out, through and through. And so when he designed you perfectly in his image and in his likeness, he made not one mistake. So take that time and look at yourself in the mirror.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. And I do that. I do the mirror test with clients too. They have to go
Okay.
stand for the first 5 to 7 days in the program. You have to stand in the mirror and acknowledge the things that you love or dislike about yourself so that we can write them down so we can work through it. And
Yes.
not everybody can do that. So the fact that you are saying that, that is something that I challenge anybody that's listening to do. Start today. Stand in that mirror
Yes.
for about 5 to 10 minutes. You ain't got to
Yes.
stand that long, 3 to 5 minutes.
Yes.
And admire you, love on you. We ain't
Hallelujah.
talking about the things that we don't like about each other, like ourselves, because we can always find the flaws that
Yes.
somebody else sees as beautiful.
Yep.
So love on you starting today.
Yes.
Today. All right, I
Today.
love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so we are
Today.
doing the plug. Go ahead, tell the people where they can get this book at again. Talk about the book, the name of the book. How
So
can they
the
follow you on social media and all the things?
Okay, so I go by Augustine Francois one. A lot of people know me as Queen Liberati. The book is on Amazon. The name of the book is Give It 100, My Weight Loss Journey in 100 Words. I'm writing my little poetry book now. Well, let me change that. I'm writing my big poetry book
Exactly.
now.
I was gonna say, don't put nothing little.
So I'm writing my big poetry book now. So you'll see that soon. And just keep on keeping on, keep beaming, keep soaring, keep shining. You're never too far removed from God's love.
Absolutely. I love that. So we're going into the mic drop moment. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and you just say the first thing that comes to mind, okay? We want to leave the people with something that will make them say, or take their invisible mic and drop it, right?
Okay.
Okay. What is one sentence about life you want people to remember?
Life is a beautiful, beautiful ride. It's a beautiful ride. Enjoy it. It's beautiful. With even with all the bumps in the road now, it's a beautiful ride.
Life is a beautiful ride. I love that. What
Yeah,
is one truth about love everyone should understand?
it's God given. It's
Mm,
God given. And you wait for the real one, honey. It's God given.
God given. I love that. What mindset belief can change someone's life?
Self. Believe in self. And it's contagious.
Absolutely. Final question. When life challenges you and love stretches you, what mindset keeps you grounded?
I'm here for a purpose. God makes no mistakes.
I love that. I love that. Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode. Thank you so much for being here. This
Thank you
has
so
been
much.
amazing. If this conversation spoke to you in any way, make sure you follow, share, subscribe. Remember that your story has power, your voice has purpose, and your mindset can change everything. Keep growing, keep loving, keep your mindset strong, but first and foremost, keep showing up for you no matter what. And God will see the rest through for you. Just believe and stop trying to help him out. He does not need your help. So stop it. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Life, Love, and Mindset. I am back with a new episode every Thursday on all major podcast streaming platforms. And you can also watch the episode on my YouTube channel, Kicking It with KeKe Media. Thank you guys again. Purple hugs.
All
Later.
right. Thank you for having me.